Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and I'm going to be doing an Odd Eyes Stardust Dragon deck profile. So I'm really excited for you guys because this deck was actually suggested to me by one of my patrons, Braxton. And this deck is a super interesting deck that can actually turbo out crazy powerful synchro monsters like Cosmic Blazar Dragon, which is super cool that Odd Eyes can actually do that. This deck is super fun to be able to play and really interesting to combine these two archetypes together. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell on there to become part of Notification Squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like getting your name description in a single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your patron. And definitely give Braxton some love down in the comments down below for suggesting such an awesome deck. So let's get straight on into this one, guys. So first off, we're going to be playing a single copy of Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. You just play a single copy of this card because it does help to be able to play a single copy of Odd Eyes for all your different combos in this deck. We then play 3 copies of Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon, one of the best Odd Eyes cards ever created. This card has a super cool effect that if an Odd Eyes card you control is destroyed by battle by card effect, you can special summon one Odd Eyes monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. And you can only use the effect of this card once per turn, but this card is a definite 3 on the deck because it is a scale 8, so we can actually scale this card, and it's a card we always want to have in the Pendulum scale. We then play 3 copies of Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon. Revolution Dragon is a definite 3 of this deck because this card is basically the searcher for your Odd Eyes cards because it has the ability you can discard this card, pay 500 life points to be able to add a level 8 or lower Dragon Pendulum monster from your deck to your hand, which is a great effect for this card to have. We then play 2 copies of Odd Eyes Persona Dragon. Persona Dragon's basically a walking negate when it's on the field, but it's also a scale 1, which is usually what we want to put in the scale alongside our copy of Arc Pendulum Dragon. But this card has a great monster effect that once per turn, a quick effect, you can target one face-up monster on the field that was special summoned from the X deck, and it has its effects negated until the end of the turn, which is a great effect. We then play a single copy of Odd Eyes Seer. Odd Eyes Seer combos extremely well with your copy of your Revolution Dragon, so we want to play this card as a 1-of in the deck, because it has the ability that you can target one Perform Power Odd Eyes card in your graveyard and add it to your hand, then destroy this card, which is great to be able to scale this card alongside your Arc Pendulum Dragon and have Revolution Dragon in the graveyard, because you can pop this card, grab Revolution from the graveyard, and since an Odd Eyes card was destroyed, you get to special summon an Odd Eyes monster from your deck, which can be Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, which is really cool. We then play a single copy of Odd Eyes Unicorn. We just play a single copy of Odd Eyes Unicorn in this deck because it is a level 1, so it can help us synchro climb into cards like our Formula Synchron so that we can go in for a Cosmic Blazar Dragon. It's also special summonable off your copy of your Arc Pendulum Dragon, which is really cool, and it's a scale 8, so it's a high scale that we can put in the Pendulum scale so we can go in for our Pendulum summons. We then play 2 copies of Stardust Synhcron. Stardust Synhcron is a definite 2 in the build. I feel like 3 bricks in this particular build, but 2 is really good because if this card's in your hand or grave, you can tribute a monster to be able to special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the X deck for the rest of the turn except Synchro monsters, and if this card is normal or special summon, you can add a spell or trap from your deck to your hand that specifically lists Stardust Dragon in its text, which is a great effect to be able to get the exact Stardust card that you need. We then play 3 copies of Junk Synhcron, our main normal summon of the deck. This card's a card you always want to see off your copy of Junk Converter, and it's a great card to help you go in for Junk Speeder, which is the main play we're going for in this build. Because when this card is normal summon, you can target a level 2 or lower monster in your graveyard and special summon that target in defense position, but its effects are negated, which is totally fine because you're just normal summoning this card out to your side of the field, bringing back the Junk Converter back from your graveyard to your side of the field, and synchroing into Junk Speeder so we can get all of our different tuner monsters on the field. We then play 2 copies of Perform Power Odd Eyes Synhcron. This card is really good as a 2 of the deck and is our level 2 tuner monster that we're using in this build. It's a really good 2 of in this deck and just a really good card. We then play 2 copies of Jet Synchron. 2 copies of Jet Synchron is totally fine in this deck. You really don't need 3 copies of this card. It's great because if it's in the graveyard and it's sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can add one junk monster from your deck to your hand, and if this card's in your graveyard, you can send one card from your hand to the grave to special summon this card but banish when it leaves the field, so you can actually bring this card back to the field to make another synchro play, which is really nice. Also, it's a level 1 tuner, so it makes it super easy to go in for a bunch of different synchro plays. We then play a single copy of Will's Dragon. Will's Dragon is a good one of the deck, so we can go in for our Majestic Shooting Star Dragon, which is just really an awesome boss monster to be able to make in this deck. This card cannot be used as synchro material except for the synchro summon of a Majestic monster, and this card's name becomes Majestic Dragon while on the field or in the grave. And when you draw this card, you can reveal it to be able to special summon it from your hand, and then if you control a level 8 or higher Dragon Synchro monster, you can special summon a level 1 Dragon monster from your deck, which your Arrive in Light will set up completely, which is really cool. We then play a single copy of Baby Mud Dragon. Baby Mud Dragon is the card we're always summoning off of Will's Dragon, and it's a really good card because it can be treated as a tuner or a non-tuner for a synchro summon, which helps you out a lot to be able to go in for a bunch of different plays. We then play 3 copies of Junk Converter. Junk Converter is a definite 3 of the deck, and the main way we're actually going to get to our Junk Synchron and set it up, because you can discard this card and a tuner from your hand to add a Synchron monster from your deck to your hand, which is always going to be your copy of your Junk Synchron, so you can normal summon it out, bring this card back from the graveyard, and synchro for Junk Speeder. We then play 3 copies of Doppel Warrior. Doppel Warrior is a awesome card in this deck and just helps you go in for so many different synchro plays, because when a monster is special summoned from the graveyard, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if this card is sent to the graveyard as a synchro material, then you can special summon out 2 Doppel tokens that are level 1 to your side of the field in attack position, which is going to help you synchro summon into so many different monsters. We then play 2 copies of Clawcrow. Clawcrow is just a great special summon that if we control a dark monster, we can special summon this card from our hand, and it's great to be able to put this card on your side of the field because it is a level 2 and it's going to help you go in for a bunch of different synchro plays. We then play a single copy of Stardust Trail. Stardust Trail is great in this deck as a 1-of just to extend your plays and send to graveyard off your copy of Stardust Illumination. It's great in this deck because it does generate tokens and it does special summon itself to your side of the field, which is a great effect. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Rhoda. We do play a lot of warriors in this deck, so this card is going to get us to the exact card we need when we need it. We then play a single copy of Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial is a really good one of this deck because you're going to get the exact card you need in the graveyard, like a copy of your Jet Synchron or a level 2 monster if you already have your copy of Junk Synchron in your hand, so you can go for Junk Speeder. We then play a single copy of Monster Reborn. This is just a great extender in the deck to bring back the exact card you need from the graveyard, even bring back Synchro monsters to your side of the field so you can go in for more synchro plays. We then play a single copy of Stardust Illumination. Stardust Illumination is searchable in this deck, and it's why we just play this card as a 1-of. It lets you send a Stardust monster from your deck to the graveyard, or if you control a Stardust Dragon or a synchro monster that lists Stardust Dragon as text, you can special summon that monster instead. And you can also banish this card from your graveyard and then target a Stardust monster that you control and increase or decrease its level by 1 until the end of this turn, which is a really cool effect to get the exact level you need for your synchro summons. We then play a single copy of Arrive in Light. Arrive in Light is a really cool card in this deck and helps us go for one of our boss monsters, which is really cool. I absolutely love this card because it helps you go for your shooting Majestic Star Dragon. But it has a really cool effect that when this card is activated, you place 1 level 1 dragon monster from your hand or deck on top of your deck, which is always going to be your Will's Dragon, and neither player can return Stardust Dragon or a synchro monster that lists Stardust Dragon in its text from the field to the extra deck. And if a synchro monster is special summoned except during the damage step, you can apply one of these effects, but you cannot apply the same effect again this turn. You either get to draw a card or special summon a tuner from your hand, which is a great effect to be able to use in this deck, to be able to draw a card into your Will's Dragon and then special summon it to your side of the field, then special summon out your copy of your Baby Mud Dragon, which is just really good so you can go in for one of your really big boss monsters. We then play 2 copies of Spiral Flame Strike. Spiral Flame Strike is the searcher for Odd Eyes and basically the Rhoda for Odd Eyes, because it lets you add 1 level 7 Odd Eyes monster from your deck to your hand. We then play 3 copies of Sky Iris. Sky Iris combos extremely well with all of the Odd Eyes cards we're playing in the deck, because your opponent cannot target Magician, Perform Pal, or Odd Eyes cards in your Pendulum Zone with card effects, and you can also target one other face-up card that you control, destroy it, and if you do, add an Odd Eyes card from your deck to your hand, which is great to combo with your copy of your Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum because it will actually go off and let you get a search and a special summon, which is really neat. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing a single copy of Cosmic Blazar Dragon. This could be any of the Cosmic Blazar Dragon level 12 monsters that you want to be able to summon out to your side of the field. This card is just the best one of the Stardust level 12 Synchro monsters that you can play because it has so many different cool effects. But this card is easy to turbo out to your side of the field in this deck. It's just a really awesome card. We then play a single copy of Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. This card is insanely powerful in the deck and really easy to summon, especially since Arrive and Light is pretty much searchable in the deck, and it's really easy to summon out to your side of the field. It comes out at 4,000 attack points, and it's just really a crazy boss monster. We then play a single copy of Baron de Fleur. Baron de Fleur is really good in this deck because usually you can end with a Cosmic Blazar, a copy of Majestic Star Dragon, and a Baron de Fleur at bare minimum on your side of the field, which is really cool. By just opening up a copy of Junk Converter, any tuner, and a Doppel Warrior, you can get there extremely easily, which is really cool. But this card is basically a walking negate and a pop once per turn. We then play a single copy of Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. This is one of the main cards that we're going to be going into this deck, because this card is newly released out of Maze of Memories, but it's super good in this deck. Because if this card is Synchro Summon, you can special summon one level 2 or lower tuner from your graveyard, and during your main phase, quick effect, you can tribute this card to be able to special summon out a Stardust Dragon from your extract, and it is treated as a Synchro Summon. Then, immediately after this effect resolves, you must Synchro Summon using monsters you control as material, but for the rest of the turn, the monster Synchro Summoned by this effect is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects, which is crazy powerful to be able to go in for cards like Baron de Fleur, because it pretty much sets you up for it with this card. We then play a single copy of Stardust Dragon to summon off our Excel Synchro. This card is great as a one-of in this deck. We then play a single copy of Odd Eyes Meteor Burst. Meteor Burst is a good one-of as well because it helps you special summon monsters from your Pendulum Zone to be able to just move them basically up to your side of the field so you can use them as Synchro material once you Pendulum Summon in the deck, which is crazy that you can Pendulum Summon in this deck. We then play a single copy of Riser Dragon so you can get the exact tuner that you need. This card is Walking Foolish Burial, and it can level modulate itself to get the exact level tuner monster you need on your field. One copy of Charge Warrior. When you Synchro Summon this card, you do get to draw a card. If you have TG Hyper Librarian, you get to draw 2, which is really neat. Play a single copy of TG Hyper Librarian. This is the first Synchro monster you're going to summon out of your extract all the time, because it has a crazy effect that when this card is faced on the field, each time you Synchro Summon a Synchro monster, you get to draw a card, and that is not once per turn. So I've drawn like 11 cards in this deck in a single turn off this card's effect, which is crazy powerful, and it's really neat to be able to use with this deck. We then play a single copy of Junk Speeder. When this card is Synchro Summon, you special summon as many Synchron tuner monsters as possible from your deck, which we're always going to be summoning out a level 1, 2, 3, and 4 from this deck, which is really good so you can start synchro climbing into extremely powerful monsters like your Cosmic Blazar Dragon. We then play a single copy of Garden Rosemaid. We are not playing Black Guard in this deck, but we are playing it for the other effect that you can manage this card from your graveyard and then target a Rose Dragon monster or a Dragon Synchro monster in your graveyard and special summon it, which is a crazy powerful effect that you basically put this card on the field, TG Hyper Librarian, and a Formula Synchron on the field to be able to make Cosmic Blazar Dragon, and then you can banish this card from the graveyard to bring back something like a Stardust Dragon to your side of the field, which is really good. We then play a single copy of Excel Synchron. This card is a good one-of in the deck because it does level modulate itself, and it's a really good level 5 tuner monster that's also a Synchro monster, so we can step into cards like Cosmic Blazar Dragon extremely easily. We then play a single copy of Cupid Pitch. Cupid Pitch is a good one-of in the deck that can level modulate itself as well, which is really good. We then play a single copy of Formula Synchron. Formula Synchron is the main way we're going to go in for Cosmic Blazar plus 2 level 5 monsters, but this card is great because when this card is Synchro Summon, you can draw a card, and which is just a great effect. We then play a single copy of Celestial Double Star Shaman. This card helps us swarm the board, which is really nice, because when this card is Synchro Summon, you can special summon up to 4 level 2 non-tuner monsters from your hand or graveyard in defense position, which is a great effect just to help you swarm the board so you can go in for more Synchro plays. So, that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy. This deck is super fun to be able to play. It's really interesting to mix a deck that has 2 of the main protagonist ace monsters in it, with Stardust Dragon with Yusei and Yugioh's Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, which is just super cool. I'm really glad that Braxton actually suggested this one because it's insane. Like, it makes insane boards, and it's really cool to be able to Pendulum Summon out a bunch of monsters from your hand so you can go in for some really good synchro plays. So, that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy. This deck is super fun to be able to play. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.